Are you serious? Get a cup of coffee. Calm down. Is Planet X in the Bible? Grab a Bible right now. I'll be in Job chapter 38. And I want to share something with you. Why did God say what he said to Job? Well, we have an actual an actual article from 1983 from the Washington Post says that 2 NASA scientists did discover Planet X in 1983. Of course, when the leading scientist in NASA on Planet X team died, NASA's never spoke about it again since 1992. And now, this past Friday, the Washington Post, again, has broken news that in the mountains of Chile with a superpower infrared telescopes, their scientists there have found not 1, but 2 planets, and they're on the edge of the right on the edge of our solar system. Well, now, quickly, the reason why I bring this up, in 1983, the 2 NASA scientists that found Planet X, their names were Neugebauer and Hawk. Now, they said these words, quote, "A heavenly body possibly as large as the giant planet Jupiter and possibly so close to Earth that it would be part of this solar system has been found in the direction of the constellation Orion by an orbiting telescope aboard the Infrared Astronomical Satellite, or IRAS." Are you serious? They officially announced it. NASA has found a planet. They called it Planet X. 30 years later, you know the technology is much better. And now these scientists have found 2 planets in Orion. Well, and here's the deal. It's in the constellation Orion. Now, the reason why I say is it in the Bible, you'll need to go with me to Job 38, and then you'll need to go with me to Revelation 8. And this is why I asked the question, is Planet X in the Bible? Why did the Lord give an explanation? See, Job was challenging God. Job was challenging God about, because of his family dying and all the things happening, and he had boils on his body and everything he owned was stolen. And his wife had even said, "Look, why are you still praising God?" And Job started questioning God, just saying, "God, help me understand this." And God basically said, if you read the 38th chapter of the book of Job, he basically says, "Where were you when I laid the foundation of the world? Where were you when I was walking on the bottom of the ocean? Where were you? Do you understand how it rains? Do you understand?" So God just really goes through this whole thing. I am God. And matter of fact, God gives us a clue. He says in Job 38:31, he says to Job, God says, "Canst thou bind the sweet influences of Pleiades, or loose the bands of Orion?" Orion? Why would God say, loose the bands of Orion? Let it go. God is saying, listen, Job, can you reach up and just loose the bands of Orion and let everything fly? No, you can't, Job. Why are you questioning me? That's what God is saying. And what are the odds, folks? 4,000 years later, that scientists with a satellite in the sky with infrared telescope looks deep, deep, deep into the outer darkness of space and looks into the constellation of Orion and sees a planet. Is God giving us a clue that he is going to loose the bands of Orion? Because if he does, he sets everything into motion. And if that's the case, is that why Jesus said in Luke 21, verse 25, "For there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and distress of nations with perplexity, sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear, for looking after those things coming upon the earth." They're going to die of heart attacks because of something coming. "For the powers of heaven shall be shaken." Why? Is it because God loosed the bands of Orion? And when this happens, folks, then shall you see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, you don't have to go cry for the rocks and mountains to hide you from the face of the Lord. If you're saved, look up! Lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Now go with me to Revelation 8, because now the Lord may have given us one more clue. And in Revelation chapter 8, there's a bunch of seals that have to be broken. We understand that. But in Revelation 8, look what it says in verse 8. Revelation 8:8. And the second angel sounded as it were a great mountain burning with fire. It was cast into the sea, and a third part of the sea became blood. And a third part of the creatures which were in the sea had life, died. And a third part of the ships were destroyed. And a third angel then sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp. And it fell upon the third part of the rivers, and upon the fountains of waters. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. And the third part of the waters became wormwood, or bitter, radioactivity, radiation. And many men died in the waters because they were made bitter. Anytime a comet or asteroid or something comes from the sky and hits the earth, it always brings with it a lot of radiation. My question is, Job, was God giving us a clue when he mentioned loosening the bands of Orion? And what are the odds that planet X and maybe planet Nibiru, there's two there now, maybe that's what they are. And maybe one and the other hit. Revelation says two, one like a mountain, one like a burning lamp. Are you saved? I'm just telling you what the Bible says. And I'm just asking a question. Take a look at Orion. Think about it. Are you saved? Give your life to Jesus Christ. He is coming soon. I'm going to ask Mike from around the world a little bit about this, but I really want to dig into this question with Gil Brizard on Thursday. But Mike from around the world will be with us today. Are you serious?